Good evening, Chef here. Sunday night, I don't know, it's about, what time is it? 20 to 9. What I feel is key is always on a Sunday night to put out a positive message. And why do I say that? I remember how I hated Sundays. I remember how it got to 5 o'clock and I absolutely felt grouchy, miserable. The idea of Monday mornings come around, and yeah, it really affected me. And that effect carried on through the rest of the day, where I was bitter, where I was twisted, where I was chasing time, where I didn't feel like I had enough time over the weekend to recharge. So I know how it is, and I know how it was. So I think it's important that I give to you the keys, the message to deal with such feelings and such emotion, and how you can, through your beliefs, through your workings, through your attitude, overcome this. And there's a quote from a Neville Goddard that really rings true with me. And he was a New Thoughts author, and it goes, "Nothing comes from without, all things come from within." So what do I mean by saying nothing comes from without, all things come from within? Now what's key about that is it's what you put in that you receive. If you're putting nothing, not putting yourself out, but expecting things to change, it's not going to happen. That was me. Totally, that was me. So remember, nothing comes from without, all things come from within. Okay, so there's something I teach and I talk about, and that's about the tipping point. And if you think about your thoughts, and we spoke about thoughts last week, in 100%. So your thoughts as a number throughout the week, 100% of thoughts, okay, or a day. Now if you're going through your life and 60% of your thoughts are negative, despondent, fed up, dour, lackluster, and 40% are positive, then you're never going to be able to get over to some amount, that 10% that might give you 50-50, because you're fighting a losing battle. Now if you've got 70,000 thoughts a day, 30 to 48 thoughts a second, you do have the ability to reach that tipping point. And as soon as you reach 51% favourable to 49% dismissive, you've tipped the scales in your favour. And that's what's key. You've tipped the scales in your favour, and it is for you to achieve and to go out and grab, and it's all by your thoughts. And what do I mean? Or expand on that, Shafiq. Have you ever experienced like a lucky streak? Something that you've said, you know what? Christ, I feel good about this. You've got up in the morning, you've made the traffic lights, you've made the next traffic lights, or you've thought about a song and something's come on and then another song's come on, or you've played football and you've just felt like, there's something going on here. I just feel like Maradona, or Peter Beardsley or something, I don't know. Or if you're playing sports or video games or gambling or whatever it might be. Is that a lucky streak? Or is that just because the belief and the emotion that you've put into the next moment is based on what happened just that second before? And the confidence and the emotion you had when you passed the ball, when you turned the card, when you played the game. Didn't you just tip your emotion and your energy favourably just then, and it's just carried on? So is that coincidence? Are you on a lucky streak? Or have you worked towards that? Have you put in? Have you, as Mr. Goddard would say, nothing comes from without, all things come from within. You've put in and you've influenced the outcome. So look at it like that. If you can do that, if you have the ability to change that outcome, then what stops you tonight from saying, okay, I know where I am tomorrow morning, yes, I'm not happy, but rather than be really dour and fed up and disconsolate and despondent, I am going to tip it in my favour. So rather than going into work 60-40 tomorrow, ticked off, change it, and it starts by tonight. Imagine yourself tonight. Picture yourself tonight in that great place. Picture yourself in the morning when you're doing this, putting your uniform on, putting your tie on, having your shave, but put yourself in that position, going to somewhere where you want to go. Now I know it's hard, but you've got to picture yourself, and you've got to do it from within, because unless you do it from within, you're not going to get it on the outside. And this is so key. Sunday nights are really miserable. They can be, or they can be if you've managed to address it and managed to work at it. Just be like any other night, a night of opportunity, a night of success, a night of abundance, a night of wealth, a night of happiness. They don't have to be miserable. And your life doesn't have to be miserable and tiresome and feel like you're on a hamster on a wheel going round and round and round, and you're not going to get off. And you live for 2 days of the week, Saturday, Sunday. You don't even really live for 2 days, because come Sunday afternoon you're fed up because you've got to go back to the old you. Well, the old you could stop now. Absolutely. It can stop now, and it can stop now by you just understanding that you've got to put in. And it starts so simply by imagining yourself in a good place. And if you imagine yourself in a good place, and if you tip the scales more favourably for you, you know, that tipping point, you've tipped life's scales in your favour. And as we've said, the motion, get that right, chef. The motion creates the emotion. So the motion of them tipping in your favour creates a good emotion. And the emotion just keeps going and going and going and going, and you get momentum and momentum and momentum and momentum and momentum, and nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you from achieving what you want to do. Nothing and nobody and no business and no circumstance and no relationship and no partner and no industry and no past experience can ever stop you from where you want to go, because you don't want to give them the energy. And this is what's key. Don't give what's happened in the past energy. Do not let it slow you down. Do not let it affect you. How dare they? How dare they? Okay? Starts tonight. And I just think it's really key, because I've been there, and I was there, and I'm not there now, and I know how miserable it is. Okay, so just remember, you've got to tip the scales in your favour. Okay, tip them, believe it, put the energy, put it from within, and then you'll get it on the outside. But you have to work at it, as always. There's no magic wand, but there's nobody more committed and more powerful than you and your emotion in this world. Nobody tells you what to do, and if they do, you do it either willingly or not. Just think about that. You know, if you're not happy about something, you have the ability to say no, and you have the ability to stop it. Don't fear about what might happen if you say that, because you're fearing about something that hasn't happened. False emotion appearing real. Say it, and then deal with it. But unless you get that intention across, nothing's going to change. So, bit of food for thought there. Try to have a good sleep. Remember your affirmations tonight. Remember your affirmations in the morning. feel it's a good morning, it's a morning full of opportunity, please like, please share, please subscribe, please put my name out there. You know, anybody else who's struggling day to day, this is what I'm here for. The greatest success I have is helping those people. Okay, and if I help people, it's all good. Remember, believe to succeed. All right, lots of love. Cheers, bye.